Hey. Alright, McCullough sounds good, I sound good, Kev sounds good.
Yeah.
Now we just gotta wait for...
All right. Let us.
Yep, so we can actually get this show on the road. We had roboting issues, and then all of a sudden we couldn't broadcast. Who the heck knows? Alright, give me just a second. Test, 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 test.
Test, 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 test.
Okay, good. Testing, testing.
There we go.
Sound good?
Awesome. All right.
Alright. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. Hopefully, let's have a show and no issues.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, I'm checking the live. There we go. I can see me leaning over you. So, yep, there we go.
Okay.
Kev saying test. Alright, page is live. So,
Just waiting on the chat room to let us know they can see us. And hear us and stuff.
oh, I know I just checked the live page, so
Okay.
let's go ahead and start and they can rejoin us.
Max still sees a countdown on his channel, but you said
I'm seeing it too.
reload a feed. Okay.
Yep. Alright. Well, let's go and we can just mangle this as we go.
So normal.
Yep, before both of us robot. Alright. We'll be going in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
We have a mod pack.
Hallow's End is changing.
Pre-expansion news from SOTOR.
News from our intrepid reporter.
Cav is here to talk to us about AIE and WildStar.
All that and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 243 of the podcast celebrating the Alia Iacta Est gaming community. This is Tetsemi, and with me as always is McCullough.
Hey guys, I made some coffee cake. It's in the guild kitchen.
Aludra is still recovering from her long birthday celebration and will not be joining us today. However, this week we are joined by special guest Kev, who's here to talk to us about AIE in WildStar.
Yay!
Welcome, Kev.
Thank you. I feel like this is deja vu. We've done this before.
We have, and we're relaunching it, and
Wow,
let's do it
yeah.
again.
Yep. Everything old is new again. No, wait. So,
Including
Kev, what
us?
have... Yeah, I wish. So, what have you been up to in or out of game, Kev?
A lot. So I was the assistant director, I guess is the best way to put it, for the biggest WildStar fan site, wildstar-core.com. The director decided to step down, so we actually decided to close the website, and there was a huge outcry from the community, so we reopened it with a bunch of content creators from different podcasts and different people. Free to play is a big time for people to come in and create new content. So we reopened it under myself. So I've been doing that. I'm working on a redesign for for the website, so that's almost done. And other than that, just actually taking a little more time and playing the game itself, because I didn't get to do that nearly enough. So I've kind of stepped back from doing more news. And I actually just found out about 4 or 5 hours ago my brother is moving back to Indiana from Maui. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, awesome.
Very cool.
Yep. So he spent 8 months down there. My parents live down there, and he just missed his friends too much and missed the, he said there's too much ocean. So he is on his way back. So, but yeah, that's what I've been doing lately.
Great.
And McCullough, what have you been up to in or out of game?
Well, as we're in the between expansion doldrums, not too much in game. Ditched raid the other night to go to the theater. Not been doing all that much in game. Out of game, working a lot. We did our fourth ed game the other day, or yesterday, that was ran by an AIE member, Dan Kenya. She decided to take a shot at DMing, and we did the Scott Pilgrim versus the World campaign, so we all got to fight individual X's, and that was a lot of fun, which meant I got to cuss a lot, because that character curses a lot and, pretty much hates everybody, so... That's about it. Geek-wise, been reading a lot lately, working, cooking, everything. So, Tet, what have you been doing in and out of game?
Leveling all the things, apparently. I did join into WildStar, and I think, Kev, you actually got me into the guild. I have a level... I want to say he's level 11 warrior on the Exile side, and it's very fun to play. The only frustration I have right now with the game is its combat is action-oriented, and you're supposed to react to enemies putting stuff on the ground and avoid that. And with as laggy as the launch was, that was tough. I mean, thankfully, introductory area, it's not a raid, so you could get hit by it and survive. It was just, you could tell you weren't getting the full experience because you weren't seeing all the reactionary combat things going on. But so far, it's very fun. And yes, I did make him a tank, of course, because that's what I do.
That tanks.
I do. I tank things. In WoW, I'm still working on the 11x11 project. I got my 9th character to 100. Now, again, I'm not making these read ready. I'm not working on the legendary, heaven forbid. I got my legendary on Tet, and that's it. I'm not going back into LFR this expansion if I can help it. I'm just getting him to level 100.
Wow.
I know. Getting the level 3 garrison, setting up all the shipyards, opening up Tanan, and that's about it. Just running missions and things on them. As I get time, I'm not obsessive about logging every day and doing all the garrison stuff and doing all the Tanan stuff, because that would basically be a full-time job. So they're just there in case I want to try the mage today, or I want to try something today. So I still have my druid and my warlock sitting at 60, so they're just going into Outland in the BC expansion.
Start working on that warlock.
Yeah. Well, I want to get them both to 100 because I'm anxious to see the changes going forward once we get into Legion. But with BlizzCon less than a month away, no beta in sight, I don't think it's going to launch anytime soon. So I'm not too worried about getting them to max level yet. So, but that's what I've been up to in game and out of game, just working, and dealing with computer issues. But thankfully, we seem to have that all solved. Cross your fingers. So that's what I've been up to, and we will be talking to Cav shortly. But first, let's cover this week's AIE news.
AIE news.
Just a reminder, AIE has our own Minecraft server and mod pack. You can find the mod pack on Curse, and there's more information on the server in the Imperial Ludi section of the forums. And did you enjoy our last episode about D&D? Do you want to play and not sure how to go about it? Well, Razzie, one of our great guests, wants to start up a campaign using the Roll D20 as a hosting site based on a setting of his own creation. Message him or reply to the post in the tabletop part of the Imperial Ludi section of the forums.
Use the forums. And in World of Warcraft, we hope you have a wonderful Brewfest. The next holiday event up is Hallow's End, which starts on the 18th of October and goes through November 1st. They have streamlined the event. Gone are the days of hourly trick-or-treating for a chance at a rare mask or vanity item. Instead, there's a new vendor and daily system similar to Noble Garden. There's a new pet, the feline familiar, and old favorites like the sinister squashling are now purchasable with tricky treats. And there's a creepy crate also available from a short quest line, and the little wickerman available from the vendors, which functions as a campfire. All this information is available on Wowhead and our forums. The Day of the Dead follows Hallow's End, and it runs from November 1st to November 3rd. And skipping back to October, we also get the Lich King version of the Time Walking Dungeons. We just finished up, we just finished up last week the BC Time Walking Dungeons, and we get the Lich King Time Walking Dungeons on October 21st to October 27th. Get your old group together and relive the fun or experience it for the first time. And speaking of add-ons, which I know we'll get into with WildStar a little bit, because I know there's some required or quote-unquote required add-ons for WildStar that I haven't picked up yet. I'm still using the base UI. But if you are a fan of Arc Inventory in World of Warcraft, I use Arc Inventory rules to put stuff in specific locations on the inventory screen. You can collect transmog sets from the salvage yard, and also buy transmog sets from the war mill. And to keep those from getting lost in my general inventory, I've made 2 rules for Arc Inventory that will allow you to choose a location for that rule, and the items will show up there. That way you don't accidentally vendor it going, oh, it's just another item that showed up. It is faction agnostic, so it will work for both Horde and Alliance. And there's 1 rule for each type, 1 for the salvage yard, 1 for the war mill / dwarven bunker. And you just have to put it on your character once, and as long as you share your Arc Inventory rules between all characters, it will work.
Yay!
And there's a forum post up in the show notes to link to the rule. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me on the forum or hit me in game and ask me questions.
Or Twitter, or
Twitter, yep.
Or just throw something next to you. Oh, that's me. Never mind.
Yes. And are you frustrated with random LFRs? Are you looking for something to do, fun to do in-game, and you want to get your role-playing on? Remember, the AIE forums are fully functional and a great place to read and share information with the rest of the guild.
And for some reason, I have no idea when I wrote the show notes why I kept bringing up the forums. I apologize for the forum spam, guys. All right, so sure. As Knights of the Fallen Empire quickly approaches, information is flowing forth like blue milk. Thank you very much, Max, for that analogy. Just a heads up, Companion, Max, Affection achievements are going to be removed. So if you have not completed those yet, do it while you can. There will also be changes to crafting, including 2 new endgame purple mats, conquest mats, which can only be acquired with completing personal conquests goals, and operation mats can only be acquired by killing bosses in operation. As always, there's a ton of information on our forums. Guys, I didn't do this on purpose, I promise. Also, to keep abreast of the most recent info for SOTOR, make sure you subscribe to the Escape Podcast. On episode 111, Seema, Max, and Astromech EPC 111 discuss expansion news, UI updates, the most recent developers blog, and live stream. They record Mondays around 10:30 Central Time at twitch.tv/New World Overlords.
Just New Overlords, isn't it?
New Overlords. Why do I do world in there? Sorry about that. Also, if you got dropped from the Star Wars Guild and want to come back for the expansion, just like with pretty much every other of our organization or games, jump into the AIE LFO channel, and we'll add you back as long as you've been registered with that character in Umami.
And speaking of returning, if you're interested in returning or joining Guild Wars 2 since the core game's gone free to play, in September, Ranyan put up an amazing guide on the forums for new and old players. And again, that'll be linked in the show notes.
All right. And I have to thank Sybil for this. This is, we had a intrepid reporter go out there to get the Star Trek Online news for us, and she got us some great information. So, from the Romulan Republic News Service affiliate of the United Federation of Planets Galactic News Network, this is RRF Fleet Admiral Sybil reporting. All right. Star Trek Online's Design Your Ship crowdsource project nears its final phase as the Epsilon and Omega starship designs are the close winners. We're awaiting the next phase as the new week approaches. Since the release of the new Federation Tier 6 Hestia-class Escort and Tier 6 Prometheus-class refit released 2 weeks ago, several new ships were released last week. The new and awesome Federation Tier 6 Enhanced Yatmo-class Dreadnought, along with the newly revamped T6 Galaxy-class and T6 Monarch-class cruisers, all are based on classical, highly successful Federation designs. The new and equally awesome Romulan T6 Kara-class Dreadnought, along with highly upgraded T6 Hapex Fleet Advanced Warbird. Both are based on the merger of several battle-proven Warbird architectures. The new and just as awesome Klingon Tier 6 Kosali, I can't do Klingon, class Star Destroyer, along with the highly upgraded and improved T6 Garumba class Star Destroyer. These are both based on tried and true, successful. I'm bad at Star Trek. Naskissian designs. I was always a Star Wars girl. As the new Season 11 release approaches, the highly successful Tales of War Akanian War Chronicles have been replaced with the upcoming Utopian Planetia Report series of behind-the-scenes tales. The Season 11 will be concerned with the war-ravaged worlds as they rebuild and still have to battle the minor universe adversaries who are attempting to invade and conquer our universe, while the factions are at perceived weakened states. Leading to the invasion will be the evil Terran ambassador Admiral Lita. Hey, Lita's not evil. The mirror opposition of the Davo table hostess Lita from the Star Trek Deep Space Nine series. This will be voiced by Chase Masterson, the original actress from the TV series. A new level 60 battle zone will be introduced in Season 11, similar to the Delta Quadrant Solani Dyson Sphere Battle Zone in Season 10. The new battle zone will be located in the Badlands of the Alpha Quadrant. Take warnings, STO players wishing to access the Star Trek Online homepage for news, purchases, and forums. On October 13th, the website will be down for 12 hours to refit and upgrade. The game, however, will not be affected. The Galactic Restoration Project will be instituted on October 8th through October 29th for game-wide player credits and perks. This is to help rebuild the efforts to help the rebuilding efforts of the galaxy. This is similar to the Delta Rising Project. So from October 8th to 15th, completed fleet projects will to unlock the bonus fleet credits. October 15th to 22nd, complete duty officer assignments to unlock expertise and skill bonus credit or skill point bonuses. And October 22nd to 29th, players shall luxuriate an additional week of all the bonuses they unlock the first 2 weeks. Thank you, Sybil, very much for all the amazing news from Star Trek Online. And with that, let's get back to Cav and find out what's going on with WildStar.
Holy cow! You read a book. Did you know that?
It's amazing. I tweeted out to Sybil, I'm like, hey, what's going on in Star Trek? And this is what I was sent, and it's awesome because it's one of those games where we want to be active in, but there's not people know what's going on. So yeah, this is amazing.
So WildStar went free to play September 29th. We were originally in it and had enough that we had to co-guild, and then after the first couple months, there was a lot of people just stopped playing, and it was a sub game, so it was to be expected. Anymore, it's the free to play model is pretty open. They went with a model that gives bonuses to subscribers instead of taking away.
Nice.
The only thing that you can't do as a free-to-play member is create a guild or invite to a guild, and that was strictly for gold spamming.
Right,
you can
makes
join
sense.
a guild, but you can't create and you can't invite, because as soon as they would, create a guild, then they would start spamming invites, and that guild name would be something.com. Stuff like that.
Wow,
So,
yeah, not cool.
yeah, the gold spammers get kind of creative with that stuff. With that said, just like any other game, it was a relaunch. It didn't go so well. It was pretty rocky. They ended up spinning up last weekend. WildStar has mega servers, and that wasn't enough, so they spun up a couple extra extended servers, and the goal of those extended servers is that once everything kind of quiets down a little bit, they will then merge those extended servers back into the mega servers, just basically giving more room on top of all that.
And if I remember correctly, there's one PvE, one PvP mega server per region. So there was one for US and one for EU, right?
Correct. And one of the cool things is if you're a free-to-play player, you automatically get 2 character slots. Well, when they spun up the extra servers, you can create 2 characters on the server we play on, Entity, which is the PvE North American server, and then they have Entity 2 or Entity 1, one of those. But they have Entity, and then they have Entity-number, and you can create 2 characters on that server as well. And when they merge back together, that will then give you 4 characters. So
nice.
As long as you don't delete those characters, you can keep them for however long. Once you delete them, they're gone until you purchase through the cash shop a way to unlock them. If at any time you purchase the game, you automatically get grandfathered in with 12 character unlocks.
Oh, so great.
Yep. So other than that, we could talk for the next 12 hours, and I could keep giving you new information on WildStar with their free-to-play.
What is somebody who's looking to jump in, who's heard it's a great game but didn't play it initially because of the subscription, what have you? What type of information would they need to know, or would you want to let them know?
Well, the one thing I will say, and many people can attest to this, and if Nevermore had more time, I believe that she would be addicted to the game, because I almost got her hooked just by telling her the breadth of housing in this game.
Yes.
The housing in this game is second to none. It is the best housing. This is when people talk about wanting housing in any game, World of Warcraft, anything like that. If they had housing like this, that's it. The housing in this game is an end game for people. There's raiding, there's PvP. Housing is an end game.
We'd lose Michaela to the housing. We really would.
We would.
So I am screen sharing here. I want to show you guys. This is my house. It's pretty dreary. I don't have a whole lot of time to play with it. I actually, one of the things you can do is you can set a roommate in your house. And one of my buddies is actually going to design me a house. And basically, I pay for it, and he can come in and move all this stuff around. So
he's an interior designer.
Yes, he is. And I will show you guys his house in just a moment. But you can see. See if I can move this around here. You can see I can move him all over the place. And this is a DJ for the free-to-play that came out.
Nice.
And there's music that he comes with. Let me.
Oh, is that what that item in my bag is that I can't do anything with yet because I haven't gone to the housing?
Correct. That's probably your
Okay.
your DJ there.
Gotcha.
So I have a bunker. One of the things that people did with the housing is it's so in-depth, and like I said, I'll show you guys here in a minute, but I want to explain this. It's so in-depth that people were taking the houses that they could put on their plots, and they were building around them. And people just basically said, look, can you get rid of the houses? We don't want a house, we want to build our own. So I have a bunker, and actually you can't really see it because it's all the way over here. With free-to-play, they doubled the size of the housing plots, but this is my bunker. And this is technically my house. They did that so that people can build on top of it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but you can change the roof of the house, the walls of the house, how the entry looks, the door, stuff like that. One of the other things you can do, you can change how your sky looks. Default sky,
nice.
voyage, fireworks, happy land. You can change to, whatever you want your house to look like. And there's Star Destroyer or World Destroyer.
Oh. Okay, so are some automatically unlocked and others you pay for, or are they all something you have to
Correct.
unlock?
Yeah,
or
so
how
there's
does that
like
run?
this one that's falling into the sun that is kind of makes me nauseous, but
I love it.
yeah, it's beautiful. I wish they made a still version of it. I would like it
Right.
more. That one is from the Cash Shop. Fantastic Voyage it's got kind of some Elden themes, which are like these, they're like demigods that have kind of come and gone. And so there's that. You can change the music in your house to any of these things. I don't have it cranked up enough, and some of them take a while to get into. So I'm just, you can buy it with Renown, which is social points, straight up gold. You can purchase some off the Cash Shop. There's all kinds of stuff. You can change what your ground looks like. It's just amazing the stuff you can do with the housing. So there is.
That starts at what, level 11?
Level 14.
Level 13?
You unlock
14.
your house. It doesn't cost anything, but you can to unlock your house. It doesn't cost anything, but you can go in here. You can purchase stuff from the housing vendor.
Gotcha.
And it says here decor owned 4,000. You can go up to 5,000, and what that is decor inside and outside your house. So you can go in and change. Yeah, you can increase your limits. You can set special things that are like guests or guards, stuff like that. Let me see. There is one that I want to take you guys to, and I'll show you this. This is my buddy that's going to build my house. This is just an example. Okay, there we go. This is just an example of what you can do with the housing. This is all hand built. Every wall you see is hand placed. This is This is him right here, Kelzam. He's a little Orin, but as you can see, like these people here are the specials I was talking about. The guests, they sit there and they talk to each other, and but he hand places every single one of these, and that's why I said the housing in this game is the end game.
Very, very intensive.
Yeah, so like all these people are placed. You can go over here.
Someone in jail or.
Yeah, well, this is a secure area here.
Gotcha.
Oh, open up. There we go. So one of the issues right now that is a bug is that I am in edit mode, and I can do this. I can move his stuff, but it won't ever save. But I
Right.
right click to look around, so that's part of the issue. But
Gotcha.
so I mean, this is, like I said, all hand placed. This is all done. This is the end game. This is what people do. They go out and do daily quests for decor items and money and just, I mean,
Yep.
all kinds of stuff.
So generally, do you get the decor items through questing or purchasing both?
You get them anywhere. Any they come as world drops. There's some of them that only drop in what are called expeditions, which are like World of Warcraft's. What are they, like the three person?
The scenarios.
Yeah, the scenarios. You can get them from raid instances. You get them anywhere. There are some that are specific to just single zones, and there's some that kind of that just drop all over the place. There is a profession in the game called an architect, and they can make decor items. So,
oh, great.
Yeah. So I'll show you one more here real quick. This is an add-on I'm using called Housing Tour, and it allows me to hop from place to place. And Katya is one of the better ones. She's created racetracks on her housing plots. I used the wrong one. She's done the one we're going to here. Maybe it helps if I don't keep doing the same one. Store keep. The one we're going to go to is her store. And as you can see, the housing plot was moved up, or
Right.
it was enlarged, and that's why hers isn't. She just hasn't changed this yet.
Gotcha. So what the house is basically the size of the plot the way it used to be.
Correct. This is that was the size of the plot that used to be, and they have made it much larger. So like I said, she hasn't changed it yet. The whole goal of this, she just runs around, collects decor items. You can come in here when she's online, and she will sell you decor items. You walk up and you go, hey, there's a cannon over here. This cannon looks really cool. How much do you want for one of those? And she'll give you a price, or she'll barter with you or trade with you for other decor items, stuff like that.
So player-made in-game.
Yeah, it's a player-made in-game shop.
That's amazing.
So, and this is just one of them that you do. There's raiding in the game. There's PvP in the game. The PvP is a little lackluster right now. It needs to be tuned more. I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not that's coming off of this, but
not.
no, it's Protostar music, which are like the greedy corporate guys in the game, but it sounds like elevator music right now. So,
what's the max level for WildStar right now?
the max level is 50, and it takes they've streamlined it. When the game came out before, it was it took me 80 hours to get to level 50, and that was after I had played through the beta and I knew what I was doing. It still took me 80 hours. From there, it's they streamlined all the stuff for free to play. They added things that allow you to teleport different places.
Which helps a lot.
Yeah, that does help. The cash shop, your cash shop is just your typical cash shop. Everything you can purchase in the cash shop is. Most of it is cosmetic. It's mounts. It's outfits, stuff like that.
So nothing that's going to change the
Power level.
Yeah, but stuff that's going to make it more interesting and more unique.
Correct. The only weapons you can purchase are cosmetic. They're strictly level 1 white weapons, and they're for you to put in your hollow wardrobe, which this is your hollow wardrobe. This here is
which took me a while to figure out. That thing is, the UI depth on this game is amazing and a little confusing.
Yes, and that's
Wow.
one of the things that we're working with on the new website. I've got a ton of people that have come out of the woodwork looking to create guides and stuff. This is one of them. I was just talking to somebody the other day about going over the Hollow Wardrobe. You can have costumes. You can unlock. You can get 6 when you hit level 50. You can unlock more, but you can kind of see my guy on the right there. Different costumes.
Ooh.
And you can see all the different items over here. So the only thing you can't recolor right now is the weapons, and I believe they're
Right.
working on that.
That'd be cool.
But once you, let me do this
I have
instead.
that eye patch.
Yeah. So when you get an item, any item you pick up in the game, if you unlock it in your Hollow Wardrobe, it soul binds it to you. But once you do this, once you unlock it, which unlocking it costs a little bit of money, this one's 67
Right.
silver. It is in there for all of your characters to use. Level 1, you can create a cool costume. The only problem
Great.
is your alts, the dyes are not account bound. Costumes
Okay.
are. So
Yeah, I noticed that. That seems odd.
yeah, and I'm not quite sure why that is, because the dyes at this point are not rare enough. I mean, they're a dime a dozen. So
Yeah.
um, but you can, these are all dye channels. Each one of these little boxes is a different dye channel that I can change. And these,
Right.
I have maybe 2/3 to 3/4 of the dyes in the game, and I mean, there's a
Oh
ton of
wow,
them.
that's extensive.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
That's like paint chips at Home Depot
yeah.
extensive.
Well, this
Yes.
is this is what my character looks like in the game right now without a costume. Um,
God, those are amazing weapons. Oh, like, is it
yep,
like flames?
those are my
Oh, those
claws.
are. So
Or
like, oh
claws.
wow,
Yep,
it's
I
like
play a stalker, and I'm basically I'm a cyber Wolverine, if you
I was gonna say
will.
it's very Logan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like Proximo does from our D&D campaign last night.
So this is
Oh
one of them.
goody.
One of the dyes they released with the cash shop is a chrome, and then they've got a lava, and I'll show you this. And it doesn't cost me anything to go through and just switch these out.
Oh
This
my
is a beautiful one,
gosh.
Northern Lights.
Yep.
So it definitely looks like if you're a player who's into the customization, you have an eye for art. This is kind of where you want to be focused on.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
looking at
like
that, it's gorgeous.
like I mentioned, my buddy Kelzam that I just showed you guys his house, the real technological looking one. He just updated that, and he there's add-ons. The shopkeep, Kadia's shopkeep, she creates add-ons for housing. One of them she has is it allows her, if you're in a raid group with her, you can race around on her racetrack, and you can just you can keep track of your times. And so there's gambling and there's stuff like that that people do in the game with in-game money. Um,
So very player focused.
it's very player focused, and that's one of the things that I am really big in with the website that I run is getting that information out there. I give them all kinds of stuff. I give them box copies to give away for winners and stuff like that. So this is my favorite by far. This is the one that I kind of created. He's my cyber knight looking
Just
guy.
say, yeah, it's very samurai
Yeah. So,
looking, like a
but
Shadowrun samurai.
yeah, he needs a sword, but other than that, he instead of his claws. But I mean, the claws are pretty extensive
Those
too.
are good.
So I mean, the claws in the game are pretty unique, um, and I mean, there's not a whole lot of interest with AIE in this game, but I think I'm
Mhm.
hoping with free to play that more people come to it and at least give it a try because it doesn't cost anything to try. The only thing, I mean, you can join a guild, you just can't invite people to guild. So if
Right.
you never want to pay a cent for this game, you can play all the questing, you can do all the dungeon content, you can do all the housing, you can do all the costume stuff I just showed off. I mean, you can do everything in the game without paying a cent for it. Now, if you want to get more into the costumes and the housing and stuff, then, you can pay money to do that, but it's not required for you to have a good
How,
time to do it.
how much does the subscription run?
$15 a month, and
Okay.
there is on the website. On my website, there's a free-to-play guide that I wrote for this that pretty much goes over everything if you haven't played for a while, and it tells you the differences in the subscription versus non-subscription, stuff like that. And pretty much as a subscriber, I gain an extra 25% experience.
Okay.
And I gain extra renown and stuff like that. They've got prestige, renown. Renown is your social points. If you do anything in a group, if you run a dungeon, anything like that, you can use that.
Right.
One of the things is when you get to max level, you will get what are called Elder Gems. And that's basically, it's like when you're running Paragon levels in Diablo 3. Once you hit max level, you can keep leveling and you'll gain Paragon points. Every time you fill a bar, you gain a Paragon gem, which it gets extensive, but it's one of those things that you learn just by playing the game, or you can find, somebody looking from the outside in, it can get kind of confusing.
Yeah. Now, are you using the stock UI here?
I'm not. This is a UI called Forge UI.
Yes. Okay.
And it's
a lot cleaner.
It is a lot cleaner. And my bags here is an add-on called Corona Bags.
Right.
And this actually, I can. You were talking about Arc inventory earlier. I can do kind of the same thing as this. I can create extra virtual bags here, and yep, I can move them all over the place, and I can set it so that specific things go in there. Runes go in this bag, costumes go in this bag, so on and so forth. Yeah. And then, as you can see, you can change the name of the bag. They appear down here. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. The add-ons in this game are pretty extensive because when you download the game, you get what's called Houston, and it is actually an add-on creation tool that Carbine released with the game so that you can learn how to do it.
It's kind of like Curse, but it also allows you to create add-ons as well as manage them, right?
Well, Houston is actually it just allows you to create them.
Okay.
And there is, but Curse is the biggest place to get add-ons for this game. So if you
just
use
like WoW.
Most games, yeah.
Yeah, like most games, Curse is the one you use. But yeah, Houston it gives you all the stuff you need in the game. I don't know much about add-ons. I'm not a developer or anything like that. It's just kind of one of those. Houston it would allow me to do it easier, and it would allow me to learn how to do it. One of the things that Katya, the woman that had the store, she's looking at doing on the website is going over how to use Houston and how to create add-ons through it. So that's something we're looking at doing as well. So,
Nice.
So let me talk real quick about endgame. When you get to level 50, like most games anymore, that is the end game. That is where a lot of stuff starts. So you've got right here is Spaceport Horizon. It's in the middle of Thade, which is the exile capital. You've got PvP vendors. You've got your daily. Here's your Elder Gem vendor that you can buy a big Ferris wheel that you can put on your housing plot. You can buy mounts. You can buy stuff for your mounts, which are called Flare. Here is a contracts board. The contracts board, as you can see over here, I have a contract to turn in. The contracts board allows you to get things like these items here. Once I fill up the board so far, I can choose a reward every time I get to a certain point. It's basically lined up so that if you do 5 of these contracts at their different levels every day, after 5 days you'll get up to this point and you'll unlock this stuff. And this up here, the top one, reward 5, is raid level stuff. I mean, it is a way for players that can't raid to get raid level gear.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like the shipyard currently in WoW, where you can I think it's once a week, an iron treasure chest shows up and it'll have whatever level raid you're at gear for that. So
Correct. And well, this is something that even a fresh level 50 can go out and do these.
Nice.
Today my level 5 one that awards the most points was go kill a world boss. The world bosses in this game, you go around with all these different people and they'll just carry you to do it.
Cool.
This one is collect 50 things from a certain type of creature in this zone. Same thing with this one. Like your level 1, this one here, it's got this contract can be repeated. I can do this for 50 points as many times as I want. So I can,
nice.
I could get up to this reward 5 if I had enough time,
Yeah.
in a day, but it's not really feasible for most people.
Seems like it's an exceptionally player-friendly environment.
It is.
Where they want basically however you want to play, here's how you can do it, which is exciting.
Yeah, and it is the part of the reason that the game didn't do so well when it first came out is it was tailored for that hardcore player element. The people that are heroic raiders in World of Warcraft were supposed to love this game, and they didn't. They went, okay, look, you're forcing us to play this way instead of, the games that came out don't play this way anymore. So, now they made it a lot more casual friendly. You can still get in there and raid and do really good stuff. Hard stuff. Raids are no joke. Raids are still very hard in this game. The dungeons in this game are not a pushover. It's hard to do. Dungeons take. That's one of the things they did with free to play is they tried to make dungeons last about 45 minutes. They were lasting an hour and a half before.
Right, so they needed to nerf them a little bit.
Yeah, and they didn't make them easier in that sense they took out what they call base population. They took out mobs here and there.
They took out the trash and stuff. And
they took out a lot more of that stuff. And I mean, there's one last thing I want to go over. This is your action set builder.
Yes.
Because your character is always moving, and I'll show you here. You can see the telegraphs on the ground here. You basically want your bad guy to be in that, and when he is fighting you, it'll be red, and you stay out of the red. And as you can see, the animations in this game are they're beautiful.
Yeah. And that's what I was having trouble with the when the launch was happening, the lag was so bad you couldn't even see the telegraphs until they were done.
Correct, and they're one of the things they had tied that to is when currency drops or this game there is no picking up loot from a body. You hit a button, which is the default is R. You hit R and it vacuums all the loot and all the currency and everything to you. And so that you never have to go over and click on a body or something like that after you've killed it. You can, I can be from here all the way to the guy over here that's yellow. And, if I hit R the whole way, I can keep running and it will vacuum to me. So one of the things, though, is they limit you to 8 abilities on your bar at any one time because there's not a whole lot of white damage in this game. The auto attack damage, they had to put it in there to kind of keep the game a little even and make it a little bit easier on the AI to defeat you. But the telegraphs in the game they are difficult enough that they decided that, okay, you only need 8 abilities to use at any one time. Now, I say that, but you've got a gadget down here, which is like a trinket from World of Warcraft. You've got your meta shot, which is a potion, stuff like that. You have a class ability. Mine is to go stealth like a rogue. Which
is that the R key by default?
Correct. Yeah. Maybe the vacuum loot is a different one.
It's a V. Yeah.
Okay. So but this is my default there. But one of the things you do is you'll get all these unlocked, and this is another thing they changed with free to play. You used to have to wait till like level 30 to get your level 8 or your 8th slot unlocked.
I think you
now it's unlocked a lot sooner. So that was one of the things that they got a lot of feedback because they said, look, there's people that are level 15 and they only have 3 or 4 abilities right now, So they went, okay, well, we'll change.
This gets boring.
Yeah, it does. This game, it's the game because everything is so action-oriented, there isn't a whole lot that you can play with. I mean, the rotations can get complicated. You know, excuse me, one of the things I have to do in my rotation is I have to switch between stances. And if you can watch down here, I've got it set to my middle mouse button. Well, when I do that, it gives me back suit power, energy, and so that's something I've got to throw in there while I'm doing this and this and this. And so
Yeah.
it's complicated. So they made it so you can only do so much. So you've got all these that you can do. You can only have 8 at a time. And you can have different action sets.
Right. Yeah, so you can do raiding versus out in the world stuff versus whatever.
Correct, and you know, every class in this game has a DPS spec and a support spec, healing or tanking, and you can tier them up here. And as you get to like tier 4, it changes kind of how it works. Tier 8 kind of changes how it works. Basically, every point in between gives it strength to what it does. And then you've got your amps. Your amps are basically talent points. Like this one here, follow-up. When switching stances, gain 3 suit power every 1 second for 6 seconds, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Stuff like that. So this is a...
That looks like they borrowed it out of Secret World, but I like it.
Probably. But this is like your assault tree, your support tree. One of the things with this is there is basically, they redid all the stats in the game, so it's either you have assault, or you have support, and then you have secondary stats that go with those. So, like I have, you know, my assault power, I have support power. You know, my assault power, my assault tree here, all these are based off of assault power. If I want to use these, I need to have good assault power. My support power, I'm a stalker, I'm a tank. I'm a rogue tank. I know there's a lot of people that are interested in those. All these are based off support power. So if I have a lot of assault power and I'm using these, they're not going to hit for garbage because that's just how they work. Your utility ones are Pounce, False Retreat, which is like a vanish. There's a Collapse, it pulls everything in towards me, things like that. And Lifty has grabbed me. These are Lifties, this one here, and there's another one over there. And they don't care where you're standing, they will grab you, and you are just along for the ride. So I mean, like I said, there's just so much. I could talk for hours and hours, and if you have questions, go to the forums. Let me turn this off here. You know, my Twitter handle is @SamuraiCav. You can feel free to ask me anytime, any questions. I'm very passionate about this game. I've been writing and working with Carbine, the developers, for 2.5 years on this game, and it's only officially been out for a year and a month or two now. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, even during the closed beta, I talk to the developers on a daily basis. They're fantastic people. They're some of the nicest people that you'll ever find. With that, Micah Whipple, who is, I believe, is Bashiok, World of Warcraft's Bashiok.
It wasn't Bashiok. It was God, I know his name. Was it Bashiok?
I think it was Bashiok. Who is the tree?
Yeah, no, that was Bashiok. I thought it was another one that went over to WildStar. I thought there was.
There's been a couple of
recently.
Them. Yeah, former community manager. Yep, Bashiok. Bashiok is now the lead content guy for Carbine, or
Crito, that's who left as well. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Got
yeah,
it.
The Pug guy. Yeah, there was actually we're actually some of us that talk to the devs have been bugging them. We're like, look, is Crito coming to Carbine? Because Micah came to Carbine. So Bashiok, or his real name is Micah Whipple. He now is the one that when there's information going out about that goes on the website or how the website looks, anything like that, he is the head guy in charge now for Carbine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that left Carbine or were laid off after the game didn't do so well on its initial launch, and NCSoft took it over.
Right.
kind of in the community aspect of it. All the CMs and all the people that talk to the community for the most part work for NCSoft. Now, on the flip side of that, this is one of the things that if you know their Twitter handle, like Pappy Moore, who does all the lore in the game, if you tweet at him, he will respond to you. I mean, this is one of the most open development teams I've ever talked to or I've ever seen. You know, one of the things that regrettably Blizzard gets a lot of flack for is they don't tell anybody anything, and Carbine is kind of the opposite. They sometimes get in trouble for talking too much.
Yeah.
So, but all right, I'm done talking. I've said my piece. Is there any questions you guys have? Otherwise, we'll just keep going and going and going.
Oh, and then do you want to go over real quick how to join the guild? I know
Okay.
it's pretty standard stuff for us, but for people that haven't done it before.
There is I've been very busy. I apologize for that. There is the wiki that you can find. If you go to our website, there's now a WildStar page. It's very basic at the moment until I get a chance to update it. Because if anybody doesn't know, I'm also the guy that runs the guild website. In the sense that I make it look the way it does and stuff like that. I will get more info on there, but there is in the description area, there is a wiki and there's the link to the forums. If you go to the wiki, it will tell you how to get into the AIE looking for officer chat, and I will get you in the guild. There's some other people that will get you in the guild. We currently have 47 people in the guild that have come since free-to-play. After free-to-play launched, some people came back. At this point, I think a lot of people, like Tetsemi, are kind of waiting on lag issues and stuff like that to die down, and then they'll start playing more. At least I'm hoping. You guys got to come play this game. You have no idea how good this game is.
It's fun. my daughter created, not the Chua, what's the XL equivalent of the Chua?
The Bunny Girls.
Yes, exactly.
Bunny people.
Yes, and she created one. She's like, well, I like this, but I like the Chua model better because the Chua model looks like one of her stuffed animals that she has from growing up. So she's like, I may just make my own account and get a Chua just to play around with the character editor because, good lord, the character editor's ridiculous.
Yeah.
A good
well,
way.
The Chua are little crazy scientist rats, pretty much.
Yep.
The Orin are your little, they love all the nature and stuff like that. One of the things I want to mention real quick is the game has hoverboards. As you can see on my screen here, I've got the hoverboards. This is one that came from a box. It's the Glitter Kitty, and
yes, I've seen that one.
Yep,
That's
and
awesome.
that is the reason I use it is because it's a box promotion. It goes slightly faster than other normal other ones. So I use it, and then I put like other, flair on it that I like to kind of make it look cooler. And this flare makes it look a little wider and whatnot. But there's all these different hoverboards you can play with. There's these different mounts. There's a Chua ball, so it's basically a hamster ball. And there's raptor-like mounts. There's war pigs you can ride, stuff like that. This one, the Data Drifter here, is really cool, but it's something that you can you only get from completing a raid boss. So,
Gotcha.
there's all that. There's pets, and why isn't it loading? Oh, there we go. There's pets. There's all kinds of pets. There's tons and tons of pets. You've got little lop people that are. People say they're cute, but I think they've got dead little eyes.
They're coming for you in your sleep. Anyway.
One thing you were talking about, Hollow's End is coming. One of the things that we have coming for, let's see here, there we go. One of the things coming in WildStar, they have bonus events that they're going to be implementing October 15th through the 18th, Power, Prestige, and PvP. Basically, you go PvP, you're going to get double the points, stuff like that. XP
Right.
Explosion, November 27th through the 29th. Just more XP, so it's a good time to come in and level if you want to take a break from SWTOR. In their bonus XP they're always doing. Shades Eve, I got on and beta tested Shades Eve, and it is absolutely amazing. It is it's very in depth and it is very dark. It is not your cutesy Halloween. It's dark. It's about a plague and a girl that's immune to it and all kinds of different stuff. The Protostars Gala Winterfest. This is Christmas. It's basically it's basically the Protostar guys are basically one guy that cloned himself, and all of his clones work for him. And
Okay.
so they took the Gala Winterfest Extravaganza. It's a joke against consumerism for Christmas.
Right.
So you'll see that.
Gee, kind of like a Matthew Evil album that we know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But like right here, buy things, help Protostar sell things, and don't let the war on Winterfest undermine what really matters, and that's money.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yep.
They've got the Hoverboard Z Pre Invitational coming up October 21st through the 25th. This is basically in different zones. They set up racetracks for your hoverboards, and it comes out October 21st to coincide with nice little hoverboard movie that some people might know.
Yes.
And if you can see here, you have a chance to win a DeLorean hoverboard.
Oh, nice.
So, and they're just time trials for the hoverboard races, and after you get so many points or something like that, I'm not sure off the top of my head yet, because I didn't have a chance to hop in and beta test this, but you can win hoverboards, titles, costumes, and there's the costume that you can win from this will make you look like Marty McFly.
Oh, very cool. With the sneakers and everything.
Yep. So that, trying to think, is there anything else you can think of that I haven't missed? Because I know you've played this a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, we could sit down and go for 4 hours on crafting and for those that don't know, it's not just pick a race, pick a class, pick a spec. They also add things like, are you a scientist, or do you prefer exploring, or do you prefer being I want to say a villager, but that's not it. But basically what it does is a settler. It adds another layer of content onto it there. So you could be in a zone, and the scientists can rebuild items or fix items that are in the zone, and that will give everyone a buff that uses that machine. Or if you're an explorer, you can get to places that are inaccessible by everyone else because you find the hidden paths to get up and unlock stuff and collect them. And there's zone achievements and stuff based on what your, not even a profession, it's what do you call it? Or what do they reference it as? Like job or
trade skill? Is that
yeah, but it's above and beyond that because you can still do trade skills as well.
It's the sorry, you're talking about the paths?
Yes.
I got a little sidetracked when you were talking. I apologize.
That's okay.
No, the paths are basically there was a study done based on the type of people, the people in an MMO that PvP,
the 4 types.
Community bit, yeah, that. And paths are based off of that. So if you're a scientists like myself, we're all about the lore. So I can go, my little scan bot here, you can see him. He's a cute little scan bot, and I can kind of change what he does, and I can have a Mark 1, a Mark 2, I can have all kinds of stuff. And they have ROMs that change, this one goes faster, but it doesn't repair as much, and stuff like that.
Right.
So the scan bot, I can have him, as I'm killing something, I can have him scanning it, and that will give me more information. There is a codex in the game, so your Galactic Archive, there's anything from a Dagon, which is like a dog, and there's just so much information on these, and that's one of the things that I can't stress enough that the game is so good is that there's a codex. Star Wars has a codex, sure. Star Wars been around for how long though? And
Yeah.
Pappy and his lore team, this game has been from 2005. They have created lore for this game, and so 10 years now. It's completely original. It does not have. It's not based off of anything. Everything in the game is completely original. But so the settler will go around and build buff stations. This is one of the stations right here. I can't click on it, but they can build buff stations to increase
Right.
crit or make you run faster, or they can, they have little stuff that they can pop up here and there. And they're basically the builders. They can pop up buildings here and there that give out quests. And the scientists are all about the lore. The explorers are all about the explorers. They can get to different places that the other paths can't get to.
Right.
And then there's the soldier who you go on assassination missions. You go out there and you do what are called holdouts, where you activate it and then you just take on wave after wave after wave. It's kind of like World of Warcraft's training that you can do. This is something here that settlers can create. This allows me to teleport to different parts of the capital city here. So somebody did find something in the game notes or the achievements that that Carbine hasn't really responded to, but there's apparently a way to obtain different path tokens, and whatever
Okay.
thing is that you can be all the paths, because right now you can only be one that you choose, and so they're hoping that it goes a little bit beyond that. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I think that's
yeah.
I mean, there's so much we could spend
There's
hours on it.
so
but
much, yeah. But like I said, go to the forums. Any questions you have, my website that I run with other content creators it's wildstar-core.com, and
you have the Twitter account for that as well, right?
correct. I am the Twitter account for that. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been around for a long time. This game is pretty much what I do. If I'm not at work or spending time with my family, this is it. This is
Yeah.
so I can answer any question, or I know who can. So.
And I think the big thing we want to emphasize is the free-to-play aspect of it. Free-to-play, 2 character slots to start. They don't take anything away from you as a free-to-play player, other than you can't start a guild, you can't invite people to a guild, but you have full access to the game. There's no restrictions or anything.
Correct. And there is one thing that you can do with free-to-play. In the store here, there is what are called cosmic rewards, and you gain cosmic points by basically, if you spend any money whatsoever, you can purchase N-Coin. Another thing I should have said, this is very important, the game has what are called Omnibits, and as you play, anytime you do anything that could earn you XP or you kill something, whatever, there's a chance for it to drop an Omnibit. Omnibits can be used. There's only one thing in the store that Omnibits cannot be used to purchase, and that is fortune coins, and that is just a gambling system in the game. Anything that you see, you can purchase with Omnibits. Any unlocks here? So character slots, they're 115 Omnibits. I can go farm 115 Omnibits in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, there is anything that you purchase in the game, or that you can purchase with money in the game, other than fortune coins, which is a whole gambling issue, well, could be an issue. The whole gambling thing that you are not required. There's nothing you're missing from it other than some mounts, but there's tons of other mounts. So, yeah, anything in the cash shop that you can unlock with N-Coin, which is purchased with real money, you can also unlock with Omnibits, which is just gained from playing the game. So
very cool.
But sorry, the one thing I wanted to mention, the cosmic points, as you buy stuff, you will gain cosmic points. I'm a level 6. I've been doing this for a long time. Basically, if you subscribe to the game, every time your credit card is charged, you don't get a monthly stipend like you do in SWOTOR, but every time your credit card is charged, every time you buy Ncoin, you will gain points. As you gain points, you'll go up in tiers. But the first one here, full social access. So after 1,600 points that you gain, that I believe is like $20 or something like that, you will then get full social access, which allows you to create guilds, invite to guilds, and
Right.
then from that point, you can play free to play and not be restricted on anything in the game.
Yeah.
So, and like I mentioned, the fortune coins is something that you can only purchase with Ncoin, but that's kind of one of those things that what it does is it allows you to gamble. I don't have it pulled up here, and I know we're running short on time. Otherwise, I'd show it to
You're
you
fine.
guys. But it allows you to gamble for mounts and costumes and dyes. And this guy right here, you can see him kind of floating around here on the spider mount.
Yeah.
That's one of them you can only get from that gambling. So
Gotcha.
if you want something like that, you're gonna have to gamble for it. But the problem is that I'm gonna have to pay money for it too. Even as a subscriber, I have to pay money
Yeah.
to gamble. It's not something I'm getting as a benefit of a subscriber that you are not. So
No. And also, I think the other thing we didn't mention is you get every day you log in, you get a bonus item or something. It could be simple as crafting materials or something else. And then at the end of I think 10 days, then there's another. If you log in 10 times, then there's a bonus and things like that. So there's always reasons just to log in and take a look at stuff.
Yep. So there's this here, and it's the daily login bonus. I'm on day 11. There's people that are already up to day 15. I haven't logged in every day. Shame on me, I know.
Right.
But so every day you get something. This is a survival kit. This one is service tokens, something like the teleporting around, or basically what they call her. It's recalling to a transmat. It's hearthing to your home location that you can change wherever. If I use this and I need to get back sooner, I can use service tokens. Service tokens are purchasable with Ncoin, or they can be dropped in from anything in the world. I mean, they're world drops. You can pretty much get them anywhere. But so if I log in on day 1 and don't log in on day 2 and log in on day 3, I will then get day 2. So it's
to reward. Yeah, it's not consecutive. It's consecutive. It just goes in order. So you could skip a couple days, log in, you'd get the next one.
Correct. Yeah, you're not going to lose out. So like this one here is a pet. This one is bot face. This is a really cool helmet that you can get.
Right.
There's Elder Gem vouchers. There's renown. Here's a decor item that you get. Here's a housing sky item that you can get. I mean, the login bonuses are just icing on the cake.
Amazing. Yep, exactly.
They're just icing on the cake. Let me see if I can find her. Madame Faye's. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is Madame Faye's fortune.
With the fortune coins, yeah.
Yeah, with the fortune coins. And you basically get this. I don't have any fortune coins because I've spent too much money on the fortune coins. I cut myself off because I was trying to get that stupid spider mount.
Gotcha.
Jedi already has one. He got it after using like 3 fortune coins. I am very upset.
Oh, of course he did.
I used like 50 fortune coins and didn't get one. And so one of the other things I'd like to mention, the items that you get from the housing, or from the cash shop, sorry, they all go into what is called your account inventory. And this is something I was just talking to Max about right here. The login reward that I got, the pet, the Dagon.
Right.
You can see here it's got 3 little people. That means I can claim it on as many people as I want. That's an account bound item. I can also get this common dye bag. It's only got 1 little person. I can only bind this to 1 character, but I can
Right.
let it sit in my account inventory until I decide what character I want to
Which
bind it
character
to.
you want to use it on? Yeah.
Yep. So,
That's cool.
but like if I open this die bag, I can bind it to this character and open it. It's most likely the die in it is not bind on pickup. Most likely it'll be bind on.
Right. So POE.
Yep. So everything in the cash shop that you can get, mounts and stuff like that, are all these costume sets. These are all BOE. You can gift these to your friends. You can do all that. So, yeah. See, and I keep finding little quirky things to talk about, but.
Well, that's good. I mean, they got to get in and explore it themselves. So.
yeah, they do. And as you can tell, I'm passionate, borderline obsessive about this game.
Yep.
So.
All right. I think that's going to be our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Cav for joining us. Amazing show. Like I said, if you guys have questions, Samurai Cav on Twitter, wildstar-core.com, or also at wildstar-core on Twitter. Any other places you want to point them besides the forums?
Just I would say my website is wildstar-core.com.
Yep.
There's links to all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have all kinds of. We're working on more guides to go out. One of the big things that we get a lot of hits on right now is when you hit level 50, we have a guide saying do this, 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 and this. So, stuff like that, and we are working on the leveling guides and stuff like that. So just take a look at the the forums, the website, and you can get to all this information for the AIE side of things from the actual web page on the guild site.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. You want to try the outro, MK?
Let's see if we can have no robots.
No, you're roboting. Do you want me to take it?
Do you mind? I think I'm going to pause myself so we don't have a RPG doesn't show up. Beep, beep, beep.
Okay. If you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Aludra is at Aludra_AIE. Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. McCullough is at Cyberwave. We record live with video every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and you can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, theaiepodcast.com. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul, or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com. And now it's time to play all of the great AIE member segments we received this week, including Overly Dramatic News. In 2 weeks, we will be talking to Arv and possibly others from SWTOR in anticipation of the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion. So until then, AIE.
This has been Robot McCullough.
This has been Tetsemi, and this has been the AIE Podcast. Yay! Well, and obviously, I made it through the whole show without roboting, so I think I know how to fix McCullough's. Basically, I gotta yank out all the virtual audio cables, yank out voice meter, redo her NVIDIA hardware stuff, and put everything back in. We should be good.
Have you looked at just uninstalling uninstalling the audio drivers and reinstalling those?
Yeah, she's due for a new video, the new video driver for Battlefront anyway, so I usually do a clean install, so I'm just going to yank it all out and do it fresh, and we should be good for next time.
What about uninstalling the Realtek HD audio drivers? Do you guys use that?
I did that. Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't make a difference on mine. The only thing that's fixed it is a complete yank out of everything.
Interesting. I had that issue, and I had to completely take out the HD audio driver and reinsert it, and that fixed it for me. But yeah, it's good to hear that you've at least figured out something that's fixing the roboting.
Driving us crazy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me on here.
So scroll to the bottom of the show notes, and then we will get out of here. to fix the robot, or at least know how to fix the roboting. It was driving us crazy.
I like